Hello, everybody. Let me get things lined up here so that things are straight. And everybody give you a few minutes. Let me fix my camera here so that I can get that. Whoops. Here we go. That looks okay, doesn't it? All my stuff. You can see all my surprises for tonight. Oh, you can still see that thing. Nope, that's even worse, isn't it? This way. Things are not wanting to work for me tonight. I don't know what's going on. Just leave it. Okay. Hello, Karen. All right. What you see down here, that's my camera stand. I got to figure out why I can't get it hidden. We'll let the clock finish. All right. So these are the cards that I made last week. Unfortunately, I only had one person's comments showing up. So I am asking, hi, Anna, how are you? I'm asking if you watched the replay, the premiere last Thursday night when I wasn't available to go live, but it was a pre-recorded one. Give me a comment tonight that you were on, because I did not see but 5 comments and they were all from the same person. And I thought that I'd seen more people on at the time, but I can't be sure. So I do want to be fair. If you were on last week, then at the end of tonight's video, I thought you were on, Anna. Okay. And I knew you were on, Karen. So we're going to let some more people decide if they want to come and join us tonight. I hope they do. Anyway, these are the 2 cards that we made last week, and we'll draw a name at the end of the video tonight. If you were here last week and I just missed your comment, or for some reason it's not showing up in YouTube, I don't know, since I'm still new at YouTube. So this was that fold out card that I'd made that was so cute and pretty. And then this one, of course, is the one that's made with the scenery on it. Okay. All right. So let's see. Where do I want to start tonight? Oh, let me show you a card that I kind of played around with. Y'all want to know some good news? Now, I'm telling you, this is great news for me. Dorothy and I already have the class cards cut for the month of July. Can you believe that? The 2 of the kits are complete. 1 kit I have to cut the paper for, but that won't take me long. But they're all designed, which I'm unbelievably surprised at myself. So from the scraps that I had, I thought, man, I got too many scraps. I want to do something with that. So I thought, okay, we're just going to kind of do a design with all of those strips of scraps. And so I did. And then I ran it through an embossing folder after I stamped on it. So you are on. Yes, I am, Karen. I'm on top of it, let me tell you, because I know July is going to be very, very busy. And then on the inside, I had some more little scraps, and I just made a corner one for the inside of that. So I thought that turned out really cute, and I think I'm going to send that to Noah and Julia. They're going through some difficult times, as all young people do. So I thought I would send them a cute little card. Okay, so on to tonight's card.
They check their mail.
Not that they check their mail, but you know, it's weird. I don't know. Colorado postal delivery, I think, is weird. So this is our easel card that we're going to make tonight. So it stands up like this, but there's a surprise to it. It's actually got another flip up card. So how cool is that, ladies? Okay. I haven't seen one like this, but that doesn't mean it's not out there, but I thought it was pretty cool. I came up with this idea myself, and I used the Impressions of Bloom dies to make the oval. Okay. And then of course the flowers, they're all cut out from the dies. This right here, and I don't know if you can really see it, but it says Celebrate on it. That is a set that is in the catalog, and it is the Thoughtful Moment dies and the hybrid embossing folder. So the hybrid embossing folder, see if I can put this back behind that. Nope, can't see it that way. Let's see. Let me use this orange. There. It has thank you, oh happy day, thinking of you, hello, with sympathy, celebrate, just because, get well, you make me happy, love you. And these all die cut from this one die. I did try, and you don't have to cut them all. Plus the die comes with these added little embellishment things that you can use. So it's a really cute set. And then you can take and die cut your words all at one time, or helps if you have it turned the right direction. What am I doing wrong here? Something. Here we go. So you lay your die cut on top of your embossing folder, and it kind of fits into grooves. It won't go through your machine. Well, you have to do it as a 3D embosser. So you have to use the number 1 plate and the number 4 plate, Anna. And it's tight, but you can do it. Okay, but it's like a 3D embossing folder. All right. So that's how you'll do with all the hybrids, is that the die will fit down in little grooves on your embossing folder. Okay. So I used this tonight for the cards. So that we're going to be using. We are also going to be using another new set that is an online exclusive that started in July. And that's the Not 29 Anymore. I don't know. Sometimes I get bored with the serious birthday cards. So I thought this set was really kind of fun. It's got so many candles, free cake. I mean, let's get this party started so I can be home by 9. Older, but still cool, not wiser. Happy birthday. Treat yourself because I didn't get you anything. Here's to another year of questionable decisions. I don't know about you, but I feel like you're not 29 anymore. It's all fun and games until your metabolism slows down. So we're using a couple of the sentiments. You did, and it still doesn't go through. I didn't have any problems with mine, Anna, other than the fact that it was just kind of hard to turn. Try doing it with the number 1 plate, the sandwich with the embossing folder, and one of the clear plates. And make sure you don't have number 2 on there at all. That would be my only suggestion to try. So this is another set that we're going to use today. And then, of course, we're using the Impressions of Bloom. We're going to use the oval, and I got ink on my case. And then I die cut the flowers. All right, so the first thing that we're going to need, and I will put the measurements underneath in the description when I'm all done recording tonight. I'm going to do a quick sketch card for tomorrow and post it so y'all can watch that when you're not watching fireworks or having a barbecue or anything. All right, so you're going to start with a piece of, and this is the Secret C, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. All right, so then you're going to fold this piece back, and that's going to make our easel that's going to set up for us. All right, so we got that piece. Then out of the strawberry slush, I took and cut one of the ovals. I just had it here. Here it is. I took the oval that cuts out the oval and the little frame around it, and I put it on my paper so that it just hung off the upper side just a tad bit. Okay, so that you've got that fold, you don't have that, it doesn't cut all the way through. So that's how I did that. And that's the one that we're going to decorate. Then, of course, I said I did the celebrate, and I did outline it in Winkastella. This is for my inside greeting because I put older but still cool. Then to get this little piece here, I always like when I can go and use my dies for something other than just the shape that they have it. So for this one, I cut out of the cloud cover, I cut out one of the ovals, and then I moved my oval about halfway down, and I cut it again, and I got this shape here that's going to be the part that our easel will stand up on. Okay, so does that make sense on how I'm explaining that? So if you can kind of envision this, I just took this and I just kind of moved it down a little bit to where I like the shape of it. And then I die cut it again, only part way, so that I would come up with a piece that looked like that.
What do you have to do with that one die cut? What do you have to do to make sure?
Oh, remember, girls, clean out the little track around here, because if you don't, you're not going to get a clean cut. Okay.
But you can also use it.
Yeah, you can use it because this is what comes out of it. So it's a nice frame. So you could frame something if you chose to. Okay. Because it does cut the frame out and then it goes around it. So it's really versatile. Okay. Dorothy just had to bring that to my attention because she wasn't getting a clean cut and she didn't understand why. And it was because, oh, gee, I had forgotten to clean out the track.
Well, I didn't know if you knew better.
Yes, I did. Okay. So here's another piece that I cut, and I did the same thing, except I took the oval and I kind of tried to get it centered and cut, but I just took it on my trimmer and I just sliced it so that I would have a smaller piece that I can now put on the inside of this card just to kind of follow through with my theme. Okay, now you don't have to do that. You could cut just a square and put it in there, but I just wanted to get more use out of my dies. All right, then we have a piece of designer series paper, and of course this one measures in the metric and not my inches. This is 5 1/4 by 1 7/8, so that's going to go up here on this, and I'm going to use the leaves, so that's going to go there. And then we have a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to go on the inside. And then this is our white piece for the inside. So let's go ahead and get started on putting this together. Now here is one of those die cuts, and it's in white. So it's really kind of hard to see what it says up against something. So what I did was I took my Melon Mambo, because it's a darker pink than the strawberry slush. Move that stuff out of my way, and my blending brushes. And I'm just going to blend the Melon Mambo on top of this Oh Happy Day. Now on mine, I did get a little heavy-handed, and I'm going to try and see if I can just go on top of the words and not necessarily on the whole thing, just so that the words kind of stand out for us. I probably would have been better off doing it with a finger dauber, but So I'm just kind of lightly going over the raised portion of this die cut. And you're going to get some on the back piece, and that's okay. But you want to just kind of concentrate on those letters. All right. So that looks pretty good to me. We're going to leave it at that. So we've got that piece done. We're going to go ahead and take our celebrate, which is another one of those words that was punched out with that die cut. And we're going to get our Wink Estella pen. And we're just going to trace over the lines so that it kind of stands out for us. So I'm just going to kind of lightly brush over the raised edge of our celebrate. And when you're up close to this, you can read what it is. Everything's kind of distorted when you're on camera. So has everybody's week been going good so far? Any big plans for the 4th? Dorothy and I and Chuck are going to go to Hy-Vee tomorrow. There's a little bristle here that's coming out. And remember our veterans giving away poppies tomorrow and flags to the kiddos. So I am concentrating, and I can't check the comments right now, but this just is kind of an added thing that you can do with your raised letters and give it some shimmer. Okay, so there's our celebrate. All right. Now let's go ahead and stamp with our secret C. Oh, Anna, I envy you. I'm hoping that this weekend we can get some swim time in. I'm hoping. Okay, so older but is going to go first. Straighten my stamp up.
Don't get
here.
your arm in that.
Nope. Nope. Older but. We're going to put that right here. That level. Still on camera. Basically, I'm not, am I?
Not really.
Okay. Push this stuff forward. Older but still cool. And we're going to put still cool underneath there. Like so. We're going to take our snips and we're just going to snip off the edges. Like so. So that's done. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, yes. On this one here, we're going to take our secret C and we're going to stamp happy birthday. And this is from that you're not 29 or not 29 anymore. So we're going to get this lined up and make sure that we get this just about as straight as we can get it. Trying to stay on camera here. So happy birthday is going to go on our inside of our little mini card. All right, so we're done with the secret C. We're going to go ahead and put this inside of this. You want to make sure that you're just going to put this at the top of your little mini card. And you could add, okay, well, that's not cool. My fingers are not working tonight. You could do what I've done with this die cut, making a little mini card using just about any die shape that you have, a circle or a square. The secret is you don't want to cut it all the way through. You want to leave, you'll fold your paper and then place your die. So if this is my card, I'm going to place my die just right off the edge of that so that you see a little bit of that die. And then you'll be able to make a shape card like this. All right. Now let me see if I can get this glue off of here. We may have to let it sit and dry for a second, and then I can take my eraser and do it. While we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and put our paper down. So I'm using the leaves for the top. So I always try to go and get things set up before my video starts. And wouldn't you know, tonight, for some reason, it wasn't wanting to show my camera. I had to retype the description. I don't know how many times. That's why the measurements are not in the description. I will get them typed in there later. So if you want the measurements, you can get them later. And then here is our backside, or the backside of that is the little watercolor type stripes. So we're going to lay this down. Inside there. I love this in color designer paper this year. I love the patterns that they have. They work so well together. Look, I got glue all over me. All right, so there is that part. This part we have to decorate. So let's go ahead, and I've got all of my flowers die cut already, so that we didn't have to wait on doing that tonight. So I just ran those all through. So here are my flowers. I have a big one to go on the inside of our mini card, 2 yellow ones, 2 little pink ones. And I have a couple of these. I'm not so sure what they are. I guess they're flowers without real petals or something. Okay, so let's go ahead. And what I did was I took my different colors. I took for my pink ones, I did the Melon Mambo. And I probably won't even need that much ink on it. And I just kind of darkened up to give it some dimension on these. Tell me, Dorothy, if I'm not in camera because I keep moving.
Well, if you would just move your
this back,
your mat up like I had it.
Up?
Yeah, towards me.
Yeah, but then I can't work towards me.
Well then, honey.
That?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I just used a big one and a small one. So there's those 2 that we need, and they've been inked. Then on our little pink flowers, just kind of doing the edges of these, just to kind of give it some shading. Not real heavy-handed, just kind of lightly touching my brush to it, kind of like right over those lines. So you can kind of see how I've got it colored with the darker pink. Sticky something on there. You want to make sure that when you're using your blending brushes, you do tap it off. Don't go straight from the ink to your whatever it is you're blending, because then you're going to get a great big glob. Okay, so there is our little pink flowers. And now we're going to do our yellow ones. And I'm using crushed curry, and this is lemon lolly that I use for the yellow flowers. And again, I'm just kind of doing the outside edges of them. So if you've been making any cards this week, girls, if you, jeepers, I got all excited. I never even introduced myself to those that might be watching the replay. My name is Sue Sanders, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator at Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. And I come live every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And I teach you how to make 2 cards. If I'm not going live, then I will have a recorded video, because there are a couple of nights that I am out of town or have a meeting. And if you comment on the cards or just in the discussion, then you get entered in the drawing to win the 2 cards that I make tonight. And I've been doing live videos on Thursdays for 4 years, and I really enjoy doing it. So I think what I did too was just to make the tips really stand out. I just kind of brushed them with my brush. I didn't want to add a whole lot of yellow because I wanted to keep that light lemon lolly color. But do you see the difference in, you may not be able to on camera because they say cameras make you look fat. I think they make colors look funny. So it started raining there, Anna. We haven't had any hurricanes yet, have you? At least I haven't seen any news about hurricanes. And then I'm going to take for my inside yellow one, I'm going to do the same thing, because this is going to go on the inside of our little extra mini card. And I'm just kind of flicking the edges of my flower petals. I normally do this with a finger dauber, but I didn't get those out today. I don't know why. I don't know why I say today. I've had these designs since Monday. Okay, because I was on top of it this week. All right, so all of those are now colored, so we're done with our ink. I'm going to take and glue the insides now to my little flowers. And I chose early espresso and pecan pie. So I did pecan pie on my bigger flowers, and then my little early espresso ones go on my little pink flowers. So we're going to just put a dab of glue right here in the center. I grab my tweezers. I'm looking at, oops, lay it down on the right side. Yes, it is the right side. There's one little pink one done. Get in my little baggie of goodies here. I cut extras just in case I lost something, because I didn't want to have to cut more. Do this guy here. Wow, Massachusetts is having a hurricane? That's unusual. kind of glad that my grandson left the East Coast when he did. He was up by, is it Maryland? Maryland last week visiting his girlfriend's family. So now I'm going to do the pecan pie for our yellow flowers. So this card does take a little bit of time, but I think the way it turned out, it's worth the effort. And it makes a nice birthday card for somebody special. Oops, wants to stick to my finger and not to the card. Stay put. Okay, and then I'm going to use for the inside, for the big yellow one, I am using the Early Espresso to give it just a different kind of look. Okay, like so. So now we've got that done. Let's go ahead and do our front of our mini card. So we're going to take these two. This one goes on the inside. We're just going to kind of place these flowers where we want them. And we're going to put this big guy here, here, and our greeting, oh, happy day, is going to go up here. This little guy is going to come down here. And we're going to poke in a couple of leaves for us. Like that. This is just a dry fit, and then I will glue them down. And I did pop up my little pink ones. I popped them up on some mini dimensionals. Okay, so let me grab those dimensionals. I had them out here earlier. And we can get this started. I did pop up the Oh Happy Day as well. So I mailed some cards out today, girls. Oh my goodness. Can't believe the cost of postage now. It's ridiculous. But it's not going to keep me from mailing my cards, I can tell you that. Because I enjoy sending out my cards. Need to send them out more often. To make sure that there's no sagging of this little greeting for us. Had this really cool little tool that Dorothy got me, and I can't remember where I put it. It's taken put all my little scraps in from my dimensionals. Okay. So, Oh Happy Day is going to go up here. Now we're going to start laying our flowers. These are going to get up on dimensionals. So we'll put a few on this one. And by a few, I mean 4, one on each petal. These are the mini ones, and there's going to be 4 on this one. Come on. So Karen hasn't made any cards this week. Like I said, Monday, I was in a designing mood. I don't know. But I designed Thursday's cards. I designed the class cards. Like, wow, I'm really on the ball. All right, now we're going to use some glue, and we're going to start building our flower arrangement back up. So here we have this guy. We're going to glue him down. So what are some of your favorite tools in the catalog that you just can't live without? I know I can't live without my Take Your Pick tool. That's one. And I didn't mean to lay that down. We're going to lift that guy up so I can lay this one down underneath it. It's not through Stampin' Up, but I love my little precision bottle that I got from another box store, but that's okay. I'm going to take this leaf now. We're going to, and with this leaf, you could have done the adhesive sheet, but it's not that hard to lay glue down and place it down here. We're just going to kind of place it there and place our other flowers around it. And this one's going to go next to that leaf. Kind of sticking out there because we know we're going to kind of cover this area up. We're going to have another big flower here. Have you all had a chance to look online at the new online exclusives? I figure you have, Anna. Have you had a chance, Karen, to go out online and see the new online exclusives that came out on July 1st? Your grandkids keep you busy in the summertime. Yep. I know that feeling. When mine were little, they kept me busy too, but now they're older and they're self-sustainable. Well, Noah's not even home anymore, but okay, so there's that one. Now let's put our pop-up flowers down. We can tuck another leaf in. So we'll put one of these here. And by no means am I a floral designer. Although years ago, my mother and I used to do crafts and we would do some floral arranging on old fan blades. I'm sure a lot of you have seen those years and years ago in the 80s. They were real popular, and you put floral arrangements on them and then little greetings, little wooden letters and stuff. So Mom and I made quite a few of those and sold them at different craft shows and things. Now I'm just going to take and tuck that leaf in there for that flower. And there we have our front. I have some little teeny tiny flowers, and the die cuts these 3 at a time. So it's really kind of cool, but they are very tiny. And if I'd been thinking, I would have used the adhesive on these, but that's okay. We're just going to put a dot of glue down where we want to put these. And then just take our putty end of our take your pick tool, pick them up and squish them down on that glue and release it. And I didn't do any extra inking on these. I just left them the way they were. Okay, that's done. Now this is going to go on the inside. And it's just going to have a leaf coming out with it. I think I put any of the extra little flowers in there. Oh, yes, I did. So we've got the leaf, and then I got 2 extra little flowers here. There we go. Get on out of there. There we go. All these little extra thingies that are falling out on me. So I have some extra pieces that I can use on another card sometime. All right, so this guy is going to go right here, and we're going to put the leaf kind of coming out over here, like so. Don't cover up your greeting. If you don't go all the way out to the edge of your flowers, then you can lift them up a little bit on the edge to stick your leaf down with. hold on to the point of it. We're just going to stick that down underneath there and then give it a good press down. And there's our flower on the inside. A couple more of these little tiny flowers there on the inside. Thought I'd lost my take your pick tool there for a minute. Here's our inside. Let it go. There we go. So there's our inside. All right, we are ready now that we can add this to the outside of our card. Where is my, let's do our inside greeting first. Let me get that cleaned up from the glue that dropped all over it. I just hate when that happens, when you drop something that's got glue on it. I'm just using my gum eraser and I'm going to get all that sticky glue off of there. You can also use your embossing buddy if you wanted to. Sometimes I don't even need to use my glue eraser. I can just get it rubbed off. Just depends. But I am really liking my green glue now. Okay. A little bit more right there. All right. So this, I can get it picked up off that silicone mat. That is going to go right in here at the top. That's just getting laid flat. Center that the best that you can. Right there. Okay. Now this part, this is the part that we're going to pop up. And this is where our celebrate is going to go. So we'll glue it. You don't need to have a whole gob of this. And if you wanted to make this raised up a little bit more, you could cut several of these out of the same color paper and glue them together. And then they kind of stand up a little bit more. They're not laying flat because you've got them layered. So here is our celebrate, just like that. We're going to attach now our little mini card. And we're going to attach it down here towards the bottom. And we only want to attach the bottom portion, okay? So I'm kind of gonna, what I'm doing is, here's how it's gonna lay down, and I'm gonna flip it over like this so that I can kind of see where I have to end with my glue. And I'm just gonna follow that card like so. I'm gonna open this up. Nope, I'm not, because then I can't tell where I'm going. I'm just going to kind of place it there, make sure that it's even. Then I'm going to make sure that I don't have any glue coming out on this side, and then I'm going to press it. Thanks, Anna. Like I said, I've never seen an easel card that has a little pop-up card with it, but I thought it was really kind of cute. Now we're going to decide where we're going to have this so that we can pop this up for the easel part. And I'm going to use the larger dimensionals for this. In fact, I've got some skeletons here that we're just going to use those. And when I do this, I usually try to put the flat edge out so that if they do happen to be seen, people don't see the little jagged edges that look like teeth marks. Okay, so there's some there. Let's put another one here. And do another one over here. So this is what's going to keep our easel card opened for us. We had a great time at our class last Saturday using the friendship garden friendship. Can't remember. But we had a good time. There was 6 of us. So now I am going to place this kind of here, giving just a little bit at the bottom. And then that's going to stand up like so, just like that. Isn't that cute? I love that. I think it just turned out really cute. And of course, no card is finished until there's a little bit of splatter of Winkostella. So here is our Winkostella to give it some shimmer. Dorothy was doing this. She would have all the flowers shimmered, but we're not. I have to order some more Winkostella. And now we're just going to shimmer the inside as well. Okay, so there is card number 1. We'll set that one aside. Let me get some of this stuff cleaned off of my area so that I'm not quite so messy. And I can get the second card out for us. So like I said, that one does take a little bit of a time because you've got all the flowers that you're gluing on it and stuff, but it does make a really cute card. And I think that whoever receives that card would really appreciate the time and effort that you put into it. Because we all know that there are very special people that will send special cards to. Then there's people that we know will just throw them away. And so we henceforth don't spend a lot of time on their cards. All right. So now the next card that we're going to do is a twist on the book fold card. One of my customers last week had never made a book fold card. So we're making one in our class this month. So I'm excited to share that with her. But I know that a lot of my ladies do like to have book fold cards. And this is just a new twist on it. Instead of being a square card, it is a regular size card base. So this is the second card that we're doing. I didn't cut out another just because my saying on the inside is you are a ray of sunshine. So we've got, you guys can choose, let's vote. You make me happy or hello. And those are both out of that one stamp and die set or die set and the embossing folder that I showed you earlier. Okay. And the Azure afternoon ribbon is retired, but I have this ribbon and I thought it's going to be used. So, all right. So you have your regular card, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then you're going to score it again at 1 inch. All right. So it's, if you want to do it, you'll do it at 3 1/4 and then at 4 1/4, and you'll fold it over. Now, I did not run my ribbon all the way through, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to close this card up. And we're going to put glue in. I think I needed to refill my bottle. No, it just was, I think after tonight I need to fill it. So we're just going to glue that shut. All right, girls, let's vote. Hello on the front of it, or you make me happy. Which one should we put on this card? Hello, or you make me happy. All right. For the outside, for the bookbinding fold, we have a piece that is 3/4 of an inch wide by 5 1/4. And then we have some designer series paper, and it is 5 by 1/2 inch. And this is the, what's the sky paper? No, it's not Adventurous Skies. The paper set that you wanted. It's in the catalog.
Is it?
Yeah. So this is the designer series paper. And it kind of goes with, it was sold with the arch dies, I believe, when it was in the mini catalog. But we're going to take and glue our strip of designer series paper to our Daffodil Delight. So this is Azure Afternoon with Daffodil Delight as our yellow. And that fell down for me, and I didn't want it like that. So let's pick it up and move it. You make me happy. Oh, hi, Cherie. Welcome. I don't know if you were in here when I said something or if you've read the previous comments. If you watched last week's video and you commented, I can't see them for some reason. So tell me tonight that you watched last week, and we're going to draw a name for the cards from last week. For some reason, I cannot see but 5 comments.
It's called Everyday Skies.
Everyday Sky paper, and it is in the
It's
catalog.
online.
Oh, it's online? Okay. But it's really cute paper.
It goes with Everyday Skies Sweet Collection.
Okay, so it's Everyday Sky Sweet Collection. All right, so there is our.
Comes with the Everyday Arches,
Okay.
dies, and stamps.
Okay.
Some white ribbon.
Okay.
And some pretty embellishments.
All right. But this is the other side. It's got like clouds and things on it, and then this is just like a texture type paper. So we'll glue this piece down to our folded edge here. Like so. Then we have a piece of Daffodil Delight, and this one measures 3 inches by 5 1/4, and our designer series paper is 2 1/2 by 5. And I will get these measurements in the description below so you can. Okay, Cherie watched. I thought I seen more people, but for some reason, and I don't know what, I have to figure it out. YouTube doesn't keep the comments. I don't understand why, but they're not showing up, and it just really bothers me. But, and I thought I had it fixed by showing the ones that were published, but that didn't work either. So I don't know. All right. So then this is going to get laid on the front. This. I must have put away my Azure Afternoon and my Daffodil Delight ink. Would you get those for me? Although they don't look like they're up there. Oh. What happened to them? Because they're not in my box for my stamping tonight. This is what happens when Sue gets early and she gets all of her stuff out. I don't know what happened to it. There's my Versamark.
What's under your cup? What's under your book?
My book.
What's under your card?
Oh, silly me. I found them. I don't know what I would do without Dorothy. I really don't, because she just keeps me on track. Let me tell you. Okay, I know I just took that out there. Did y'all see me take that dauber? Here it is. Here's my dauber. What happened to my other dauber? Guess I don't have it. Okay, we're gonna make do. All right, so we've got the base of our card put together. We're gonna stamp our inside with our ray of sunshine in Azure afternoon. I'd kind of thought, okay, I have not used Azure afternoon for quite some time, and it's a really pretty blue color. I don't know why I haven't used it. Okay, come on, there we go. And I love the everyday arches. I love the stamps. I love the arches. You all just love, love, love those. Okay, so we're going to stamp this kind of right up here like so. You are a ray of sunshine. Okay. And I bet. Oh, goodness, Sue. Dorothy, I need the, oh, let me see. What is that stamp set that I used? Give me a second, girls, because I put it away. I was cleaning up and I thought I didn't need it anymore. And I did. It is for my little flowers. Where, oh, where? Here it is. Yeah. Gallery Blooms. So we're going to do a little bit of heat embossing tonight. And then ink resist. So here is my little circle, and this was cut from the Spotlight on Nature dies. And I am using this flower. I call it Queen Anne's lace, but I don't know what it is really. We're going to use this stamp. And I really only want part of it. I don't want the whole thing. So when I go to ink it, I'm only going to ink up the top portion that has the flowers. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so hot. You'd think I was under professional lighting or something. Okay, so I've used my embossing buddy so that I don't get static stuff. And I'm going to stamp up my Versamark, or my stamp with my Versamark. And then I'm going to stamp down. We're going to cover up our Versamark because I'm getting the heat or the embossing powder out. And I am embossing in white because we're going to, yes, I am a hot mess, Dorothy. I have gotten really hot for some reason. I don't know why, but all right. So here is our white embossing powder. And I don't want to touch my, I can see where my image is. And I normally don't do this on camera, but tonight we are. Okay. So you can't see it, but I can see that embossing stuff. Let me clean this up so that I'm not making a mess. I have decided that my white is the only thing that will be in this tray because even though I think it's clean, I would still get different specks of other colors of my embossing powders. So this one is only white. Okay, put that aside. I'm going to get my heat gun here and I'm going to turn my back towards the microphone so it might get loud. Just going to warm it up here for a bit. I'm looking in the dark. I am. I love to watch it change from the powder to the glossy part. Right there on the bottom, it needs to change yet. Okay, that's done. Hope that wasn't too obnoxiously loud. All right. We're going to let that cool off. And while we do, we're going to take our Azure Afternoon finger dauber and the ink as soon as I can figure out. There it is. I knew I hadn't put it away yet. We're going to sponge over the You Make Me Happy so that it gives it some color to it. And we're just going to lightly go over the top, kind of like we did on the first card with the Oh Happy Day. And if you were really good at doing ombre, this would be kind of really pretty if you could do ombre. I tried and my ombre didn't work out so good. So I still need to practice that. And I didn't want it to be really dark. My card, I did it first in yellow and it didn't really show up very good. And I didn't like it. And then I just went over it with the Azure Afternoon. So that's why I thought, no, we're just going to go with Azure Afternoon. And there, I got a little too heavy-handed. Just trying to stay on top with the darker ink and not getting it down inside the white part. There is some that got on the white part, but it's okay. It gives it character. Okay. All right. So we've got that part done. Get my dimensionals out here again. Okay. So now we're going to take our embossed piece and we're going to use the Daffodil Delight. And we are going to do some resist embossed. We're going to take and ink up our brush and we're going to start coming in, and we're going to start off light to start with because we can always go darker. And what we want to do is bring out the image of those flowers. And once we get it all inked, then we'll come back with a tissue and we will wipe off the ink and it will not stay on that embossing powder. I'm now just putting a little bit more pressure down on my brush to really bring those white flowers out. I guess that's why it looks and reminds me of the baby's breath. I remember years and years and years ago, it's been over 20 years, when Mom was teaching a class for a Mennonite lady. And she went out, well, she didn't, my dad went out and he picked Queen Anne's lace. And then she put it between, what did she put it between? I'm wanting to say wax paper or something. Flattened it out, and then they used that as a decoration on their cards. Can't remember what it was that she put it between. All right, so there is my resist embossed. I'm going to grab a Kleenex here. And we're going to wipe off the ink from our embossed image. And it cleans up really nice. And it brings out that white. See how white that is now? I just love that. All right, time to put our card together. we are going to take a piece of the scrap. And of course, I didn't leave this or do this first. I should have, but it will still work. We're going to put this down. Nope, we're going to edge this. We're going to restamp this because that's what I should have done in the first place. I just laid that there and then I stamped so that I wasn't so close to the one side. Okay, so there is my strip of paper. Now we'll center this here. I just love the way these stamps curve. Yeah, it is a pretty technique, Cherie. It's one that I don't do more. I should do it more often, and I don't. And now we're going to lay this down on the edge of our inside piece. And I did leave it longer so that I can just trim it off so that I'm not worried about if it's too short or not. And I'm just putting it right up to the edge of that white, right up to the edge at the top. There we go. Take our snips, snip it. Nobody will ever know that we stamped on the back because this gets glued down so good you can't take it up. Besides, they shouldn't be taking apart your cards. So you got company coming for the 4th, Cherie, or are you just going to spend a quiet Friday afternoon on the lake by yourself? Okay, so there is the inside of our card. Now the outside, here is our You Make Me Happy. We're going to put that up on some dimensionals. Mini dimensionals again. I've got stuff. I'm going to close this before I get it all over me and everything else. I just got ink on my finger. I tell you, I am a hot mess tonight, girls. I don't know why this one is so hard. Probably because I haven't used it very much. That's why. Got to start using my Azure Afternoon more. Take your pick tool. Back in the camera. We're just going to place these around on the back of this die cut. You don't want it to be sagging or nothing. So how many of you went out and got more postage before that went up today? Dorothy went out and bought 4 sheets yesterday for us, so I didn't get any more forever, or not the forever, but the hand cancel card stamps, which I usually call the butterfly, but I didn't have her get any of those. I'm going to cut off just a little teeny tiny strip and lay down here on the happy so that those letters are stuck down as well, or popped up as well, I should say. Okay, and I think I need one at the top of that. I'm just going to remove these backings. So if you are not doing anything in the morning, I am going to have a sketch card posted for you. I seen it made the other night and I thought it was so cute. And I thought, oh, I can't wait. I'm going to have to just make that. So I'm going to pre-record one tonight after the live is over with. And then when y'all want to tomorrow, you can, you had surgery yesterday, Cherie? Well, I didn't know that. You make me happy. I'm putting that on an angle. And I am going to use some of the skeletons from this one. It's because I'm too lazy to turn around and get my big ones out. It's so far away for me to do it. Well, I hope you're feeling better today. And I bet you're not up to company. Did you tell us last week you were having surgery? Because I don't remember. But then I don't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. Okay. So now we're going to attach our flowers. So this is just another way to make a book card. And I thought it was kind of a cool idea. And I love these two colors together, Daffodil Delight and Azure Afternoon. Last thing that we have to do is put our little bow on it. And I'm going to use one of the snot dots. Oops. That we have. And for added, yes, I told you might not make it to class. I don't remember, Cherie, but like I said, I don't remember yesterday very well either. So keep me posted on that. Okay, so now I've got my glue dot on there, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue just for added protection. And we're going to lay that on the middle of our side. And then did you know if you took a block and just set it there for a little bit while I'm cleaning this stuff up, it will dry and stick. Okay, let me get this all cleaned up here, or the stuff out of the way, and then I'll bring in the cards again, and we will draw a winner from last week. Dorothy is going to put it in our little hat, and we'll know who gets the cards for last week. Ouch. Do you know I have pinched my finger more in this little hinge than the man in the moon? I don't know. It just, and boy, does it hurt. All right, so there is, we'll take our block off. This. And then we'll have both of our cards brought in here. So there is our easel card that has the added little happy birthday on the inside of the flap, and older but still cool. And then our You Make Me Happy, You Are a Ray of Sunshine. Okay, so those are the two cards from this week. And the two cards from last week, which were these, this one and this one, that was the fun fold that opened up like this. Those go to Cherie. So Dorothy drew your name out. So now you have these two cards. So yes, the colors do go together really good. And I use the color coach for this. When school starts, Karen, you might just have to come down and we can go over the color coach for you, and I can show you how to put one together relatively easy. I love this white ribbon that comes with the botanical garden. I think it's like a gauzy material, gauzy ribbon, and I just love it. And I've left this one longer so that, and I didn't cut off my ends simply so that you can tie it up again. Sometimes I get too short a ribbon. All right, Cherie, I will get you those cards if you don't make it to class. All right. Well, ladies, I appreciate you spending the last hour with me. I have enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed the cards. It's always fun Thank you, Anna. You have a happy 4th. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Everybody here in the lake area, stay safe because it's going to be busy, busy, hectic. All right, everybody. See you next week. Bye.